What's up guys, Corey Campbell with Blackstone Shooting Sports, and do I have a video for you today that I am super excited about, and that's going to be a review on the Ambient Arms EXO556 Ti. This is the coolest suppressor currently on the market, and yes, the pun is definitely intended. So what you guys saw is me shoot an entire 30-round mag and empty the entire magazine and was able to hold the front of this silencer. That is going to be incredibly beneficial to a lot of people, including actual operators or law enforcement, for a few reasons. One, if you've shot many silencers either in a class or just out with your friends, you'll notice that typically they heat up super fast, and it's really easy if you've got a sling on or something like that to sit it down or put it against your body, and you will burn yourself if that silencer touches you. Or in sort of an operator capacity, what tends to happen is when they sling their rifles, they can burn straight through their pants that they are wearing, which are pretty thick and pretty durable. So the fact that this stays as cool as it does through some sustained fire is an incredible benefit both to recreational shooters as well as people who are doing that professionally. So we are now on the range with the Ambient Arms EXO556 Ti, and I just want to show you a little comparison of how cool this thing stays under sustained fire. So we also have the Huxworks Flow 556 Ti. We're gonna put 5 rounds through this and then 5 rounds through this, and let's just see how cool they stay. Okay, so that was 5 rounds. And that's like, if I actually grabbed a hold of that for any more than like 1 second, that's gonna burn my hand and I'm probably going to the hospital. And let's go 15 rounds with the 556 Ti EXO. That's not even warm. Now this is a very unique and first to the market style suppressor for a couple of reasons. The first, I would say that's the most prominent, is going to be these 3 intake ports that Ambient is calling their Ambient Intake System. And what it does is it actually creates a low pressure environment through the suppressor as you shoot it, which then sucks in air into these 3 ports from the ambient air around the silencer. So what you're actually able to do is when you're shooting this, it creates a low pressure environment inside the can, and you mix cool ambient air with the hot gases that are being produced when you typically shoot suppressed. This is very unique and beneficial for a couple of reasons. The first being is cooling the gas down as much as possible is going to make the silencer quieter. Ambient Arms is claiming that this reduces the sound by 35 decibels and is about 15 decibels quieter than other leading flow-through suppressors. The other massive benefit is, if you notice by the name, this silencer is actually made of titanium. Now normally, titanium starts to break down or degrade at around 800 to 1,000 degrees. So when you get it up to that temperature range, you're going to start seeing failures just in the physical material itself. What's really unique about this is that after firing an entire 30-round mag, I could hold the very front of this can. So obviously closer to the muzzle, it's going to still be a little spicy, but this whole upper third, I was able to completely hold after doing a full 30-round mag dump. And because of that, with it being titanium, what is unique is that it creates a much cooler silencer over a lot of firing and a heavier firing schedule. So you actually can run this much harder than other titanium suppressors. That is amazing, especially for weight savings, because typically you're having to pick between weight savings and less rigorous firing schedule, or a 718 Inconel or stainless offering that is way heavier but tends to be more durable. A couple of other really unique features is that this basically has a ported barrel through the entire silencer and just has ports throughout the can to get into the baffles and to get through the structure of this 3D printed silencer. What that allows is for precision shooting or just for longer range shots where precision is necessary or wanted, you're getting a significantly more uniform gas path that is behind the bullet so you stabilize it. That is also including this concaved surface that is the front cap. And what that allows is two things. One, it also allows for a much more uniform gas expansion and gas expulsion from the silencer to just help with that precision, but it also creates a pressure wave that shoots out away from the silencer and away from the shooter versus it being a flat cap and just immediately going in roughly 80 to 90 degree direction that you can kind of, as the shooter, experience. Now, in terms of durability, like I said, this can handle much more significant fire schedules than you would typically be used to with a titanium 556 silencer. This has actually gone through and passed the SOCOM surge testing. Now, if you don't know what that is a cycle of 8 mags fired one after another, and those are full 30-round mags, so a total of 240 rounds. And it has to go through that process 10 times in a row. And this passed with flying colors and did not have any issues whatsoever, which typically would not be something that you could do on a titanium silencer.
Okay guys, so now we want to see if we can capture a little bit of the sound difference between the two of them, if there is one. Now you'll notice I'm still wearing my ears. The reason for that is because inside this like very small enclosed space, a lot of the sound is reflective and hearing damage is cumulative. So we're just going to be safe rather than sorry later down the road. Okay, so here is the Huxworks 556 Ti. Now, even with my hearing protection on, I can tell that's pretty quiet. But as we've talked about, that is already super, super hot, and I think we've only fired like 10 rounds through it, which is not uncommon for silencers. Now we're going to shoot the Ambient Arms EXO 556 Ti and see what that sounds like. Now, I will say, to me, that does sound a little bit quieter. It is obviously a tiny bit longer than the flow, but one of the things that it has going for it is these 3 sections of intake venting are pulling in ambient air. So you're getting a lot of the cooler air mixing with that and just giving it like a super, super nice tone. So that is a sound comparison between the two. Hopefully that will come up on our microphone and you can tell a little bit of a difference.
With all of Ambient Arms' claims on the sound and scientific capabilities of this can, it also is very reassuring to know that all of that data is backed up by DEVCOM, which is the U.S. Army's Combat Capabilities Development Program. Now, that is a pretty cool feature to have all of your claims backed up by a third-party scientific lab. So you can be assured that all the claims that they are making are pretty accurate. And when I was shooting this, I would directly agree. One awesome feature was that when I was shooting, I had absolutely zero gas back in my face, and I was shooting it on a Mark 18, which is a very, very gassy AR platform operating system. So the fact that I could shoot this on a 10.3-inch overgassed gun was pretty impressive to not have any gas in my face whatsoever. So let's jump into the technical specs of this. So this can weighs 14.5 ounces without any type of mount to it whatsoever. It is 6.9 inches long, which falls right into the realm of typical full-size 5.56 cans, and is 1.75 inches in diameter. Now this is hub compatible, which has sort of become a industry standard for many silencers, and it basically comes compatible with a thread pitch that allows you to use almost every major silencer manufacturer's quick detach system. So if I want to take this and put it on Plan B or something Q related, I can do that. If I want to put it on Silencer Co's ASR, I can do that as well. Chemo, Cat's Spooky system, all of those are possible with this hub mounting capability. So for our testing, we actually used the Method Dynamics Plan B adapter, as well as one of their muzzle devices for the attachment onto a Mark 18. This was absolutely fantastic and really kept the entire package super, super short. Some QD systems on the market, although amazing, add a decent bit of length to your silencer. And so this really kept the package pretty small and manageable, as well as because it's titanium, it is not particularly that heavy compared to a lot of 718 Inconel cans that currently exist. Okay, now let's see what comes in the box. So this is a really nice packaging that is a really thick cardboard. It's going to come with a crush washer, as well as the direct thread 1.5 by 28 back mount. So the really cool thing about this is it doesn't come with a lot of fluff. It comes with everything you need to immediately direct mount it on a rifle. And if you already have certain other accessories from other manufacturers, you can immediately plug and play those as well. So it basically is out of the box, ready to go for you, and nothing really is required at least a minimum in terms of what needs to happen for me to directly attach this to a rifle and start having some fun. So as we were shooting this side by side with the Huxworks Flow 556 Ti, something that I really noticed and that will show up in some of the shots that we show was how much this directs gas forward. So I talked about this sort of concave cone design, and it really did a fantastic job of directing the entirety of the just the smoke and gas that comes out of the silencer, as well as the sound way in front of the shooter. So it sounded absolutely fantastic to my ears. It is something that I would easily be able to shoot, and at least for me personally, because I know everybody's hearing is different, I would have absolutely no ringing whatsoever from shooting this, at least for a couple of rounds. I don't recommend shooting a silencer, especially a rifle silencer, without ear pro on, not because the sound necessarily will on face value cause hearing damage, but hearing damage is cumulative and you still just want to protect your ears as much as possible. But this sounded absolutely incredible beside the Huxworks Flow 556 Ti. So that is my review of the Ambient Arms EXO 556 Ti. If you liked this video, make sure you like and subscribe so that we can keep bringing you content like this, and we'll see you on the range.